I.S.U.P.K.
All I'm going to tell you, man, if you want to stay plugged in and tuned in, make sure you subscribe to I.S.U.P.K. on YouTube. A lot of powerful information will be coming out this summer, and you want to stay tuned in. The minute they drop it, it's coming right to you, baby, as soon as you subscribe. So make sure you handle that business and subscribe to your I.S.U.P.K.
Goddamn heathen are your enemies. They walk around life trying to figure out every way to destroy you. And do you know the new way to destroy black men in America? The new way to destroy black men is to emasculate. Forget that, drop that. Read this. The new way to destroy black men in America is to emasculate them. It's to make black men in America feminine. And goddamn it, that's what we out here fighting against. Let's go. Matter of fact, read the title. This is an article. This is an article about what's going on in America today. It's an article to let black people know to wake up and separate from your goddamn enemies.
Billy Cops' habit of fondling black men sparks greatest protest of all time.
And here we go. Not only are cops killing black men in America, the new way to destroy black men is to try to emasculate them. What does it say? Billy Cops are stopping black men and fondling them. They are fondling grown black men who have done nothing. Let's go.
2 Philadelphia police precincts received pairs of underwear from a local activist group Tuesday morning.
So Tuesday morning, 2 police precincts in Philadelphia received 2 pairs of underwear to represent a protest that's going on right now. Let's go.
However, the gifts were not meant to inspire thoughts of romance or affection. Instead, their packages were ingenious protests designed to highlight a disturbing but little known fact about a law enforcement officer in the Philly area.
So what's going on? It's a little known fact that white homosexual cops are stopping black men and fondling them in their goddamn underwear. Now where is that coming from? The reason why homosexual white men do homosexual acts because they have a homosexual white God. The reason why black men are homosexual in America is because they pray to white homosexual God. You understand what I'm saying? Let's go.
4 years, Philadelphia police officers have been illegally stopping black men and searching their underwear.
For years, they've been illegally doing what?
Stopping black men and searching their underwear. Read on. The May 25th story tells the Nefarious Walters, who was pulled over by 2 white police officers.
So the story that I'm reading is about a guy named Nefarious Walters, and he got pulled over by some white police officers. Read on.
For running a red light as he was going to pick a suit to wear for his graduation from Cheney University the next day.
So here you have a young kid who's about to graduate, and the cops pulled him over because they said he ran a red light. Now, most white people, all white people out here are going to say, well, none of this would have happened if he wouldn't have ran the red light. Let's go.
They were rough.
They were what?
They
Now this is the words of the young man that got pulled over by the police, and he got fondled by the white police officers. Read on.
They threw me on the ground.
They did what?
They threw me on the ground. Read on. It was like damn near being raped.
Now if this brother got pulled over and he got thrown on the ground, why does he feel like he got raped? He feel like he got raped because he got a goddamn cavity search in the streets by a homosexual white man. And that's the new agenda that Donald Trump is spearheading. Donald Trump and all racist white America is trying to emasculate the black man. If you take the only way that a house can be taken over is for you to remove the man. And that's what white people have figured out. Read on.
They did what they wanted with me.
They did what?
What they wanted with me.
Now this is a young kid on his way to a graduation, and he got pulled over for something as simple as a red light. And now he's been thrown on the ground, and he feels like he's been raped because he got a cavity search by a homosexual white man. Read on.
Police search Walter's underwear, and reports show that they found marijuana on him, which he denied.
Oh, there we go. That gives you the reason right there. Cops went in his underwear, and they found marijuana, right? Read on.
Walter spent the night in jail and missed all but 10 minutes of his graduation.
So the young man ended up going to jail. He got fondled and he ended up going to jail, and the police claimed that he had weed in his underwear. Read on.
The charges against him were later dropped.
Why was the charges dropped? If you just pulled me over and you just gave me a goddamn cavity search and you said you found weed, why are the charges now being dropped? Read on.
But the police reports did not indicate that the officers had searched Walter's underwear.
The police report did not indicate what?
That they searched Walter's underwear.
The white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
The white man walks around lying in any situation that he can do. That's why we call him the goddamn devil. That's simply what devil means. It means liar and deceiver. And nobody has lied more in this earth than the goddamn white man.
Right.
And I'm not talking about just the white man. His goddamn dog of a wife and his little white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids are the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of as well. Let's go.
Of course, people would say that this could have been avoided if Walters had not run the red light.
Of course, that's what all white people say. You wouldn't get shot in your back if you just would have stopped for the cop. Trayvon Martin wouldn't have got killed if he would have just stopped for any old random white boy that hates his guts. Read on.
Endangering the lives of others in Philly's heavy traffic.
Read on.
But Walters also denies that the light was red when he went through the intersection.
So now it's a case of the young man's word against the white man's word, right? But we already know everybody's going to take the cop's word. Read on.
In addition, Matthew Walters was riding a bicycle.
He was riding a goddamn bicycle. Nefarious was pulled over for running a red light when he was riding a goddamn bicycle. And you know what? These cops took and they violated a young man for simply just because the white man has a homosexual nature. And this is not nothing that I'm making up. Ever since the white man came on the scene, he has always had a homosexual culture. And he has always pushed it on black people. And guess what? It is destroying the hell out of black people. That's why we had to go up to Atlanta to have a lecture called Make Atlanta Straight Again. We got to make Atlanta straight again because Atlanta has a bunch of homosexuals walking around following white people's culture. Read on.
The same thing happened to Monte Singleton, a used car salesman who was stopped by the police after he dropped his daughter off at her grandmother's home.
I bet you Monte Singleton glad he dropped his goddamn daughter off first. Because guess what? That homosexual spirit is a violent spirit. It don't care if you a man or a woman. If he would have had his daughter in that car, guess what? His daughter would have been violated by that white homosexual cop. Read on.
The police searched his car without permission.
They did what? look, from this one story, we see that white people lie. They just do whatever the hell they want to. And guess what? We just take everything, we forgive them. Why do we forgive them? Because we pray to their homosexual God. That is nobody. That is Cesar Borgia. He does not have no power to save black people. So why the hell do black people close their eyes and pray to this goddamn homo? Let's go.
Throwing his 6-year-old daughter's clothes on the sidewalk, but the worst part of the illegal search was when the officer...
Hold on. What's the worst part? What's the worst part, brother?
Throwing his 6-year-old daughter's clothes on the sidewalk. But the worst part of the illegal search was when the officer patted Singleton down over his clothes.
We all get patted down over our clothes, right? If supposedly probable cause says that police can stop you and frisk you, I guess. Which that's a goddamn lie. The white man uses that to just serve out his lust. The white man likes Rod, so what he does is he uses his laws to touch Rod. Read on.
Then felt inside his underwear.
He did what?
He felt inside his underwear.
This goddamn white homosexual did what?
He felt inside his underwear without asking for consent.
He reached inside the goddamn man's underwear without consent. How many grown men do you know that's going to let you reach inside their goddamn pants, man? I'm not even a police officer, and I know if you feel like somebody has something shoved up their culo, that you're supposed to take them to the precinct and do it the correct way. But no, that's how you know it's an agenda. It's not about the white man trying to keep laws or try to enforce laws. You can't enforce draconian laws. You know what I mean? It's about the white man being a homosexual and playing out the agenda of emasculating the black man. Taking the black, further emasculating the black man and getting him out of the household so that, guess what? If we have no more black men, we have no more black people. God damn it. Black people, wake the hell up and see what's going on. That's why we out here. We out here to sound the alarm, to wake you up, to see what the hell the devil is doing to you. Anymore? Let me finish that.
They're out here basically going around sexually harassing people.
They doing what?
They're basically going around sexually harassing people.
Read that verse right there.
Appreciate you.
The white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Read.
Johnson also says, stop and fondle. Policy continues in part because police officers take advantage of the fragile masculinity of most black men.
Up in New York, they call it stop and frisk. White police officers all across the country use stop and frisk to harass black people. Now, the new thing is what? Stop and what?
Stop and fondle.
Now the homosexual white man wants to stop and fondle our rods. Now how does that sound? Cops nowadays want to fondle rods to further emasculate strong black men. Read on.
It's not a popular sentiment to say.
Meaning most people that this happened to, it's not a popular sentiment to say, I've been fondled by a homosexual. How many people want to admit that? Nobody wants to admit that they've been raped. Read on.
I cannot keep another man from going into my underwear or into my drawers, he said.
Nobody wants to admit that, man. Nobody wants to admit that they cannot stop another man from going in their goddamn underwear without their permission, without their consent, against their will. But guess what? The white man don't give a damn what your will is. He don't give a goddamn if you consent to nothing. He's going to take and do whatever he wants because he's a beast and he's an animal. And what do animals do? Animals do whatever they want to do, right? They serve out their lust. They do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Get the bottom part.
Body cavity search, the actual entering or touching of a person's private areas for searching for weapons, evidence, or contraband.
And that's what these goddamn homosexual white people are doing. They are stopping black men on the street and they're giving them body cavity searches. How humiliating is that? In the middle of the goddamn street. They in our neighborhoods doing this. They in our neighborhoods emasculating our black men and getting them out the goddamn house. So what you gonna do? You gonna stand, you gonna fight for your brothers? All day long, man. Brothers been all up and down, talking about brotherhood. Talking about the Lord only loves you to separate from these goddamn white people, because guess what? The Lord only loves you, and the Lord hates white people. Give me Romans 9:13. We're about to go into the book of Matthew 12:29. Black people, if you got any inclination of love for your people, you will come up here and get a flyer. You will get a flyer and raise your nation. You understand what I'm saying? Because we in the last days. And guess who knows we in the last days? The white man knows we in the last days. Because he reads this book the same way we read this book. And guess what? He knows who he is according to this book. And he knows who we are. Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true biblical Israelites according to the Bible. Give me the scripture you got, brother.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 29. Or else, how can one hear? Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house?
Woo, that's what I just said. How can one enter into a strong man's house? How can you come into my house? I'm a strong man, and that's what?
And spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he spoil his house.
The only way you can come up to a black man's house is unless you lock him up, unless you fondle him, unless you do whatever you can in your abilities to get this strong man out the house. And then what does the white man do? The white man makes our women believe that they the mother and the father, that they can do it all on their own, that they don't need no man. But contrary to popular belief, it's all part of the design. You are working, you are part of the design to destroy you. And you do not even know, black women in America do not even know that they are working for the goddamn white man. You're the white man's best friend. The white man's best friend is the black woman.
That's right, that's right.
That's the only way that he can get to us. It's through our goddamn women.
Nobody tell you crap. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues. Call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord?